All right. Good morning, everyone. Sorry for starting a bit behind schedule, but now we start. I want to welcome our distinguished guests, our wonderful head of schools, facilitators, history teachers, parents, and well-wishers that are here, and most importantly, the set of people we're celebrating today, the students and the next generation of Nigeria, the student from the 10 participating schools for the Ethical Living Project 2024. Please give yourself a round of applause. My name is, thank you.
Excited, even the feedback or the report I've gotten already, from Michael, very short but very, very inspiring of how much impact, what we're doing is having already. But I just want to specially appreciate, I was very happy, my face literally lit up when I saw Professor Eleyido, who have known, respected, with the way Nigerians, we like to talk about the glory of the past, and we often forget the glory of the present. When people who come after us will talk about Prof, they'll be talking about the glory of the past. We'll be like, did we live here with him and we just took it for granted? Because I know people who did what he's doing now in the past. When we talk about them, we talk about them as legends, almost as if they're spirits. But here is a man who has dedicated his life to service, to education, to giving, and has done so much. They built Pan Atlantic University, as we know it, Lagos Business School. So please acknowledge him. We should not take his simplicity and humility for anything other than extraordinary service. And in the same vein, I want to also acknowledge Mrs. Shade Adefisayo, who also is just exemplary. She's an educationist in her own right, an educator, a former commissioner of Lagos of education in Lagos State, and I think two of them probably, possibly more than anybody else I can think of in Lagos today, symbolize education. For them to be here, I think we don't need any more to know that this is the place to be. I'm very excited to see you both here. I also want to acknowledge our own very Owa Osaobo, who is the quiet orchestrator with her team that are here. And all the other people who have made today possible. I've mentioned them, and by the way, they all also serve on the steering committee. Everybody I've mentioned so far. Of course, I want to again acknowledge Enactus Nigeria, represented by by Michael, who is the country manager, Michael Ajayi, who is the country manager. I'm very hands-on, very passionate about what he's doing. Well done, Michael. And then all the principals by equally ethical business leaders. Now, let me say that the foundation is also committed to just creating an enabling environment in the truest sense of the word or of the phrase, where you have, I was thinking of a phrase to use, and the phrase that came to mind, which was something the Aspen Institute that I attended one of their fellowships in the past, and they talk about this concept of the good society, a good society where, people really take responsibility seriously, whether it's at home, whether it's at work, whether it's the community. And the way you do it is literally by what we're doing here. You have to invest in the youth. You have to build the ethics into the people. I was listening to somebody this morning who said that, because he was quoting a passage from the Bible where he said, you should be obedient to those that are in authority. And he made a very strong point that the way from a faith perspective you change society is by being the role model You know, that is not so much, you know, just by challenging those that are in leadership, as important as it is. Because if you don't build character, what you have is just a revolving door. And we've seen it here and elsewhere. You know, if people don't have the character, even if those that are there now, you think, how can they do that? Just wait till the next group comes. Then you realize that you have to go back and build the character. Because until you do it, it's just a revolving door. Because human nature, you know, does not just automatically start doing the right thing because it's in leadership. You know, so I think what we're doing is incredibly important. And I pray that God will help us for it to have the fullest impact on our society and on our people. The journey has been an amazing one, and I'm truly excited to witness the culmination of our collective efforts coming to fruition today, at least in this, because this has been a pilot. And obviously, as it succeeds, we plan to roll it out across the country and to work with others to sustain it. We want this ethical leadership to really become the way to go. Therefore, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the students, the teachers, the parents, and all our partners who have made this initiative successful thus far. Your dedication and enthusiasm have been the driving force behind this project. Ethical living is more than just a mantra or a concept. It is a way of life that prioritizes making choices that benefit the greater good, our community, and Nigeria. In other words, it's that other-centeredness which is built into people. Character is trained into people. It's as much about nurture, much more than it is about nature, if that makes sense to you. So it's really that whole building that makes a difference. And societies deliberately do it. And this is, I mean, I don't want to go into digress from what I've been told to call, which is just to welcome you. But I have to say that societies make a choice, you know, to build into themselves, particularly, you know, the younger ones, you know, the qualities, the values they like. It's not just a mantra. I mean, we just had stood to the national anthem. You wish those words will come true. And it's even a prayer. But I believe that that prayer can come through if we deliberately work at it, as we're doing today. You know, so this must go on and become the way of life that we inculcate in our people. And therefore, it becomes the way we are in this country. In today's world, where we face numerous challenges from economic and social inequality, it is essential and crucial to instill these values, these ethical values, in our younger generation. Over the past months, we have witnessed remarkable progress in this journey. Our students have engaged in workshops and interactive sessions aimed at promoting sustainable and ethical practices. They have gained an understanding of the significance of ethics, ethical decision-making, and the transformative power of incorporating these practices and these character traits, you know, in our daily lives or into their daily lives. I am particularly proud of our students and the facilitators. The feedback has been amazing. They have shown a keen interest in the project and a deep commitment to making a positive impact on our society. Today, we celebrate their achievements and acknowledge their hard work. We at African Capital Alliance and the Foundation firmly believe that businesses play a crucial role in contributing to the betterment of the community and society at large. As part of our approach, we actively collaborate with our investee companies or portfolio companies or companies we invest in and other partners like we're doing today to effectively implement initiatives like we're doing here that align with our values of corporate social responsibility and our commitment to nation building and to what I called earlier the good society. Because it's not just a mantra, but it's something we all have to work at. It showcases our unwavering investment, not only in businesses, but also in the future of our community and the overall well-being of Nigerians. You know, when I think about the ACA values, our values start with community, humility, integrity, excellence, and discipline. But you know, you can have values, but unless you are building them and investing in them, they will just stay as just bare words. And I'm glad that we're taking at least some little step, you know, in furtherance of those values for the future of our country, and I might add the future of ACA. I'd like to take a moment to sincerely express my heartfelt appreciation to the Lagos State government, who obviously have created the environment in which all this is happening, and to their representatives past and present, for their consistent support and commitment to the success of this project. Additionally, I'm immensely grateful to the Lagos State Ministry of Education and the Ethical Living Project Steering Committee, who I acknowledged earlier, people like Prof. and Mrs. Adefisayo, for their unwavering support and cooperation. The collaboration has been essential to ensuring the successful outcome we've had so far and the encouragement why we know that this journey will continue. As we celebrate today, we also look ahead to the future. Our goal is to create a lasting impact that extends beyond this project. We plan to expand our initiatives, reach more schools, and continue to promote ethical living. We envision a future where these are deeply ingrained in our society, leading to a more sustainable and equitable world, what we call the good society. I encourage everyone here to continue supporting and participating in this important cause. Let us all take the lessons learned from this project and apply them in our daily lives. Together, we create a better future for Nigeria and for the world just by living the values. As I conclude, I want to convey my profound gratitude to each student again for their unwavering dedication and tireless effort. The disciplines you are building today will serve you so well tomorrow. Your persistence and commitment to ethical living serve as a profound source of inspiration for us all. I truly believe that you, as the future leaders of Nigeria, hold the power to shape a brighter future for our country. Through your actions and choices, your exemplary conduct and dedication are a testament to the potential of our youth. And it fills me with great hope and optimism for what lies ahead. Thank you again for your time, your efforts, and your passion. Let's keep working together to make a difference. Thank you for listening. And God bless you. Thank you.
Right, can we give that round of applause again, please? Thank you very much, sir. We are grateful for that wonderful and insightful address. We are grateful for your presence. We know you have a very tight schedule, but at the same time, you make time to really come here today. So we are so grateful. Thank you once again, sir. So I was supposed to make a list of introduction, but like they usually say, a leader makes your journey easy. So thank you once again, sir. I just want to introduce a few more people that are here that are very also important to us. They are representatives of the school, as it has been rightly mentioned, that they are part of those that really make these things work. So from Baptist Academy, representing the principal, we have the vice principal, Mr. Adigunwese. Can you please stand up for recognition? Thank you very much. Representing the principal of Kuramo Senior College, Mrs. Bolanle Ajao. Can you please stand up for recognition? Okay. For CMS Grammar School, representing the principal, Mr. Kinwale Mayowa, please stand up for recognition. Thank you. For Government Senior College, Morocco, the principal is here. Mr. Atombo, please stand up for recognition. Thank you for coming. We appreciate your effort. For CMS Girls Grammar School, the principal is here. Mrs. Majeko Dumi Lanre, thank you very much for coming. For Akonde Daunsi University, for Akonde Daunsi Memorial Secondary School, we have the principal here, Mrs. Ajiboye Olanike. Please stand up for recognition. Probably the university is coming. For Boys Senior Academy, Lagos Island, please welcome with me Mr. Ogunyemi SK, the principal. Thank you for coming. For Government Senior Secondary School, Government Senior College, Ikoyi, please join me to welcome the principal, Mr. Bamidele Ayotunde. Thank you for coming. We have Dolphin and Ojota still coming. We understand Ojota had little breakdown the way, but please give yourself a round of applause. You are special. You are special. Thank you. Dolphin? All right, so we move on. Once again, thank you for your time. Now we move to keynote presentation, Transformative Power of Ethical Living. So to take us through this presentation, joining me to welcome the erstwhile Commissioner for Education in Lagos State, Mrs. Folashade Adefisayo.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My dear students. I don't know how to start. I'm a bit overwhelmed with emotion, but I think I would just, as they say in Lagos State, stand on existing protocols, because I really usually don't have time to be mentioning, to be calling a long list. I don't want to talk too much, because like I said, I'm overwhelmed with emotion, and it all started when we were singing the national anthem. And remember when we said we want to hand on to our children a banner without stain, isn't it? So I think this is the beginning. This is, for me, so meaningful, because that means the next generation has to be better. You have to be better than us. You promise? You'll be better in every way possible. You just have to be. Because otherwise, there'll be no country, there'll be no nation, no people. It's going to be very drastic if we continue at this pace. And so I greet you all, everybody in the room. When I was asked to talk about the transformative power of ethical living, I actually thought and said, how am I going to? I have more than 4 speeches that I wrote. I have a PowerPoint presentation. I did all sorts of things. I looked at YouTube videos. I did a lot of back reading, because I said, what right do I have to come and talk to people about this? Is it, have I myself, because you now made me start thinking that you yourself, look at yourself. And so that's why I know that it's a question of you looking at yourself. And by the time I was done and I knew what I was coming here to say, which was just about 30 minutes before I got here, I knew that I had to focus on self. Because, and that is, we have to start with us. So before I go too far, I'm going to also tell you the premise upon which I'm going to say most of the things I'm going to say. There's a book that used to be very popular. I don't know why, maybe because the author passed on, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And I was a facilitator for many years, and my teacher, the person who registered me, who taught me, is here, and that is Mrs. Uwa Osa Obo. She taught me the principles and got me into trouble, because from that time on, I've never been able to do many things. Because the book taught, there are some fundamental issues, fundamental things the book taught me. Number 1, it taught me that between the stimulus and the response, there is space. Between what happens to you and your reaction to it, there is time. Time to think about what to do, what step to take, what decision to make. That's always been fundamental. So for me, when something bad happens to me and I want to react, I always say, between the stimulus and the response, think about what you are going to do. Is this the best action? Look at yourself, your conscience. Is your conscience allowing you to do this? And that's one of the principles. One thing I learned, and that follows me throughout life. So even when things happen, like you are going on the road and some Okada hits your car, breaks your side mirror, you know your first instinct is tell your driver, get down and give him a dirty slap. But you sit down and you remember, between the stimulus And the rest was, what if I slap him? The poor fellow is just trying to make a living. The roads are narrow. You know, what if I get down and slap him? And I'm a teacher of 7 habits. Can you imagine the people who I taught passing by and seeing me in a scuffle with an Okada driver? So at that point, you just halt and say, well, he cannot afford the mirror. There is no point taking him to the police station. He's just going to suffer. So you just say, please just go. You can go. You know, there is no point. There is no point. But you talk to him very well to let him know that he should behave well. You don't know if this message sinks in, but you know, it forces every action. The other thing is that we must, what do you put at the center of your life? What is most important to you? Many things are important in life. And there was one of the texts that I read here that I was very excited about. It says, we are naturally born ethical. Apparently, babies are ethical. I don't know how I still have to go and read that study, because babies, I don't find them to be ethical. I find that babies are singularly minded. They want to eat. They want you to change their nappy. They want you to do things for them. They are not doing anything for you, except when they start smiling, and that's all that you say, oh, you know, but he's not doing anything for you. But I learned that there's a study that shows that inherently babies are ethical. So I will try and believe that and say that means we are ethical by nature. And what is being ethical? You remember Dr. Oke said it. He said, making choices. You make the right choices. The choices that will build society. The choices that will build your family. The choices that will build the world. Because we're in a global and interconnected world. I said what got me into a lot of trouble. Even up till I cannot, my husband calls my handbag a dustbin. Because I cannot throw things out on the street. I cannot be in my car, finish taking something and just, you know, I put it in my bag. I said, when I get home, I will offload my bag. I just cannot do it because I still think about the environment. Someone told me, what is your business? I said, well, when I remember that apparently the pure water sachet that we are using today, 800 years from today, will still be on the surface of the earth. So something that I take now is still going to affect my generations upon generations unborn, or more than 10 generations. Then what right have I to contribute to the spoiling of the environment? So again, it affects everything. So not just your relationships with people, not just your relationships with the people in authority over you, your family, but also the world. Remembering that you have to remember the people who are coming after you. In fact, I can't remember the book I read recently that talked about the fact that whatever we do, remember the people who are coming after us. And many of the things we are living on the surface of the earth, they will meet it and it will be of no use to them. So, we are born ethical. But why are we not? Then why don't we live ethically? There are many reasons. Before I go into the transformative power of it, it is a problem. Because we are not only ethical beings. We are ethical, as we said. But we are also other things. We are also rational. We also avoid pain. We seek pleasure. We are creative storytellers. That is, we can tell stories. That means we can tell lies as well. And so on. We are concerned about the social environment. What will people say? We are concerned. You know, Prof, you said something. You said, my bag. When you looked at it, you remembered bags that are $25,000. I have a lot of friends and acquaintances whose objective is to carry that kind of bag. But you just look at it again and say, for what? We are very concerned because they feel that they can't go anywhere now and not carry a Prada bag or a YSL bag or a Chanel bag. They'll be embarrassed. That what will my friends say? They will say maybe I'm getting poor or I'm suffering. But does it really matter? When you look at it at the end of the day, does it really matter? Maybe not. My father was very concerned about certain things. He wasn't a man he lived a simple life. But for some very funny reason, my father loved watches. And you know, at a time it was Omega watch. So every one of us on our 21st birthdays got an Omega watch from my father. Then he moved away from Omega. He started doing things like Tissot and Rolex, you know, before he died. And he died. None of us wants to wear the Rolex. I think one of us, maybe we sold it or something. We don't need it. First, we all wear Apple Watch, which tells you your blood pressure and so on. And like my son says, a wristwatch is a single function device. I can't cope with it. I have to use things that are that have multiple functions, like telling me, like if mails come in, if my phone rings, I want an Apple Watch. I don't want a Rolex that has just a face and so on and so forth. So at the end of the day, for what? So we are also social beings. We are concerned about status. We are concerned. You know, the commissioner is coming in. You know, I used to be a banker. And I used to be a branch manager. Whenever I was coming, the policeman would be chasing people out of the way. I too would come in. You know how you come. You know you don't look left or right or such things. You just someone told me how to be a big man when you enter a building. So even the security guard will not even call you to say, please sign something. You just come in. You don't even look at him. You just walk straight in. Then I left. I was no longer branch manager. And I came to the branch. The security man said, park your, please, madam. This is branch manager's, go and park your car there. Carry your tokumbo, come and be doing something. You know when you are like, it's me. We are too concerned with status. We are so concerned with loving ourselves. And there are so many other things that we love. And that is what that is the major problem we have in living ethically. Because we are also all these things. And they actually disturb the walk and the work of life. You know, it looks this thing now when you say, you know, I went to a workshop, I followed my daughter who's working somewhere in the US. There's this big warehouse. It's filled with furniture, filled with things, filled with books and guitar and even pianos, you know, grand pianos and so on. Do you know what they are? They are the properties of people who have died. Their children don't want it anymore. So they come and they don't pay the way, they just dump it there so for them to sell. We never ever remember that one truism, wherever you are in life and whatever you do, whatever happens to you, whatever age, these two will pass. You know, a king asked his men once, please tell me, give me a saying that in every situation I can quote. These two will pass. I was no longer a branch manager. I'm no longer the commissioner for education. I dare not go to certain places because I don't want anybody to even say anything because I know what they will say. Madam, please, sit there. There is space there. So I respect myself. So having said that, we have to remember all that. And then I like to say something again. Many things happen to us in life. We like to blame our circumstances. My parents didn't send me to an Ivy League university. My father could afford it, but my father said, all of you are going to UI. I'm an ex-UI. It's the best university in the world. Yes, sir. My father went to Government College Ibadan, and he was very sorry for people who did not go there. So all our boys went to Government College Ibadan and to University of Ibadan. It's what you make of it, isn't it? At the end of the day. He said, no, I went there, I met your mother there herself. Well, I hope they were studying. I don't know. But, they met themselves there. You know? We blame our circumstances. We say all sorts of things. But really, it will pass. And it doesn't matter that much after a while. By the time you are 40, you can't say, my parents did not look after me well. My parents did not send me to school. My parents did not take care of me. You can't say that anymore. You are now an adult. It's up to you. And I will tell you the story of two young men, twins, born to the same mother and father. Twins, identical. Their father was a terrible man, in and out of jail. All sorts of things happening to him. Now, one of them, some 20, 30 years later, they went to look for them. One of them was a fine, upstanding member of society, a doctor, nice family, well-off, comfortable, a pillar of society. The other one had been in jail multiple times, and in fact was now in jail for murder. When they asked both of them, what happened to you? Coming from the same background, what happened to you? Do you know they gave the same answer? With a father like that, what could I do? Because that one who became an upstanding society, a man in society, said, with this kind of father, I better move to the opposite side. But the other one said, with this kind of father, is in my genes. I'm a natural criminal. And that is what happened to him. So, since we are ethical beings, since we are all born ethical, but since there are many things in society pushing and pulling us not to be ethical, still, what do? You see, the power of being ethical, it's extremely powerful. It's also difficult because society could make fun of you. You know that. Holy, holy. What's your problem? Everybody's doing it. I mean, those are the things you hear. And for those of us who understand Yoruba, eto eni. What's the meaning of eto eni? It's your right. Others are doing it. Eto eni. Do what everybody is doing. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. But let me tell you, there are some personal benefits. And I'll tell you. I'll try to model it not on myself. I dare not say, like I said, I almost turned it down, that no, do I have any right to call myself ethical? I try every day. I don't always get what I want, but I try, and I know that the good Lord has been helping me all the way. Well, let me use my father, that difficult man. He was the Commissioner for Education in Western Region when I was a child. He was initially Commissioner for Economic Planning and Development. Then he became Commissioner for Education. That was in 1972, 73. He lost the job because there was a military coup. But you know, those were the times. You would go to work one day and they tell you there's a coup. You are no longer Commissioner. The standard of living we had before he became a Commissioner, while he was a Commissioner, and afterwards, never changed. I always joke with people and say, if this man hid money somewhere, we haven't found it. But let me tell you that there are many things in my life that I have become or have had because of that man. Because first of all, the transformative power of it is that you are at peace. You are at peace with all men and with all people. People can knock at the door of your house. You will open the door because you are not afraid. I went to visit a former colleague of mine in the bank, and I used to be a banker, you know. There was a big mirror in front of his house. That mirror was to look at both ends to see which car was coming. He had CCTV. When I knocked, it took time to open because they have to look at the mirror. That is there any other car coming? And so on. So what's the point of it all? He cannot go out. So first of all, there's the incredible peace and well-being that this gives you. Secondly, I'm talking about what could transform if you live ethically. I'm not going to start talking about what ethics are and so we know. Is it to live with vision? Let me go back and say what I was going to say. Is it to look at your beliefs, your values, and your actions and to make a conscious decision that you are going to impact the world positively. You are going to do the right thing. There's something that says, it just means do the right thing at the right time to everybody, everywhere, in any circumstance that you find yourself. So the first thing is you'll have peace. You may not want peace, but I assure you peace is better than the alternative. Your relationships. People know who you are. People trust you. You say, the daughter of a good man, until the day he passed on. He wasn't saying I was good. He was saying I was the daughter of a good man. So even long after he had left work, everywhere I went to, the first job I got, it was in UBA, and the HR manager was a northerner, the son of a Fulani herdsman, whose parents, whose father took him down with him to Edo while he was passing through Edo to Lagos. My father was a teacher at Edo College, Benin City. The man said, I want to tell, what is your name? I look a lot like my father. The same complexion, fairness, the same black on my face. He said, you are the daughter of this man. Let me tell you a story. And let me tell you something. Never be unkind to young people, because you never know what they will become. That he came with his father. He said, your father brought me out of that quagmire. Today, he was the HR manager. At that time, I was a young girl of about 23, 22, 23, young lady. He was the HR manager of UB. I got a job within 2 weeks. He said, please go back and thank your father. Till my father died, every Christmas, rice, this thing. He said he had lost touch. He met my father in 1958. How could he know that so many years later, the little girl he saw then would now be, looking for a job in the bank, and he happened to be the HR manager. That's how I got my job, within 2 weeks. My father did not remember him. Not remember him. But there's something about it, in that you build relationships, and those relationships never end, because they trust you and they know you are good. They know when you say something is right. It's a difficult thing to even carry, because that means you are careful with your words. Because when you say this person is good, they will believe you, because they know who you are. So that's the second thing, that you have friends from everywhere. I'm quite fine being friendly with anybody. I'm even quite friendly. And it's because I believe in the power of everyone. I believe in your power, you these young people. You don't yet, but you must, because it is your duty to take us out of this situation that we are in. So that is why I would have a relationship with you. So relationships are important. Then let me tell you, it will affect you economically. You will even make money, because people will believe you. People will believe you. Ever since I left government, I've had to be turning down people, because I can't cope with the offers that come my way. And that's why I said, even my father, by the time, he could not cope anymore. He had to stop and say, look, I can't do this. Come and do this source, come and do this source. Come and take, come to this place, come to that place. Sometimes in 5 weeks, there were 5 weeks in April. I found myself, April, May, I found myself sleeping in 5 hotels in 5 countries. Because I never paid a penny for fair hotel. But people say, please come and talk to my people. Please come here. Please do this. Please do that. So even economically, you are not going to lose. On the other hand, you can lose if you find yourself doing something unethical and people decide that this is not right in society. I don't understand how you can take something that doesn't belong to you. I don't understand it. I don't understand how you can work and not know that that you are going to leave that place. And when you leave that place, they are going to come after you. But you should be comfortable that anybody comes after me will find me sitting in my house. Say, come in. Let's hear. So it's even going to help you economically. And of course, there's personal growth. So for you as a person, it is transformational. It changes your life, changes your relationships, makes you happier. Even with your family, my brothers, my sisters, I'm the firstborn. And my father, though I thought my father was Noba, so he had many children. But I'm the firstborn. I'm the father of everybody. So you've got to learn that wherever I go, they don't even, I'm now to them like a father. I'm not even their mother, I'm their father. Because I determine their direction, I work with them. So whether the fact that my father did, I didn't like it, but they are his children. And my father had one big plus. His children look like him. And they are fair, like me too. So all of us have to, once you are fair, and you come and say, I'm Babaloja's daughter. Come in. You are fair. And you two have this black thing. You are the true son of Baba. So as a person, your life will be happy. He's been dead nearly 20 years, but we still remember him. People still talk about him, and we are still enjoying from whatever he did in life. The other thing is the society. The societal impact is so transformational because you will change things around you. Because you will get to a place and you will make a difference. And when you leave, people will know that you made the difference. And when you've made a difference, you know, there is something about sitting with your conscience in your house. And I've told you that even as a person, you will gain. People don't understand how much I have gained since I left government. Even I don't understand it. Because when I was told to write my CV was in about 10 pages. Because they said, oh, write all the projects. I said, do you really want to know? Okay, I'm going to write it. And that's because people appreciate that she tried. So nobody is perfect. And like I said, it took me a lot of thinking to agree to do this. Because I said, nobody is perfect, but I tried. I tried to do my best. And that's what I urge you all to do. The impact on society is tremendous. Look, I'm an Olympics addict. As I'm standing here, I'm not excited because I have to be. They've started the morning session, and they are doing 110 meters hurdles, and Toby Amushon is running, and I'm sitting here. But that's okay. That's okay. I'll sacrifice that today. There's a young Nigerian girl called Favor Ofili, right? You all know about her. She wanted to run. She had practiced for 4 years, and her name wasn't put on the list. You see, those are the things that kill society. That's what I'm trying to get to you two to understand that. When people, you mean the person who didn't put her name didn't know. I know they know. They had another candidate. Maybe there's a, I'm sorry, I don't have anything to justify. But I know, having worked with so many people, that they probably did that on purpose to that girl. And she got to the finals of the 200 meters yesterday. This is a race that it started off with 100 people, over 100, and this girl got to the top 5 in the world. She may not have gotten gold, silver, or bronze, but the top 5 in the world. Think about it. She's one of the top 5 runners in the world, globally. But here we are trying to kill her spirit. So, can you imagine the transformative power when all of us are doing the right thing? What we could have done for that girl. There was another one who threw the hammer for America, Annette Neka. Neka. Is that an American name? She tried. She couldn't get her papers. Somebody comes to me and says, I'm Neka. I'm throwing hammer. I can give her a passport in a day. Come and throw hammer for Nigeria. She threw hammer for the US. She got the silver, the second best in the world. Neka. There's Rashidat Adeleke. Is that an Irish name? She was running. The man said, look at how Rashidat is lifting those lovely Irish legs. I said, Irish legs? A Nigerian? A Nigerian bearing Rashidat Adeleke. She's Irish. Not so? And all because these people, some of them are broken-hearted and they've had to go elsewhere. All because all of us are not working ethically. But if we start this, and that's why I'm involved in this, if it's a movement and we all agree that we are going to do the right thing in all circumstances, in all situations, regardless, there will be some pain. Please, I'm not telling you there won't be. People who will even make fun of you. People who will scorn you and mock you. You have to live above them. You have to live above all that. Don't let it be water off a duck's back. If we all do the right thing, we will build a society where we will all be happy. Like they say, in our place, you don't throw stones into the marketplace. Because it may hit your family member. What is happening is we have thrown rocks and stones and all sorts of things into the marketplace, and it has hit everybody. Just remember, not everybody can japa. Most of us are going to be here. So if we are going to be, I don't want to live anywhere else. It's so cold. I'm very happy here. I like the weather. I like it here. Many are not going to go anywhere. Shouldn't we make it comfortable for us all? The most prosperous countries in the world have the lowest, what do you call it, corruption rates. I've not used that word corrupt at all, have I? So students, thank you for taking part in this. Thank you. God bless you.
Wow, that's a great presentation. Please, a round of applause once again, please. As she rightly mentioned, the road might not be easy, but it's worth it. The benefit spans beyond your own lifetime. Although you can get the benefit as a person, your community can get benefited from being ethical. The society in the country, in fact, the bedrock for development is being ethical. And most importantly, the impact of you being ethical can outlive you. Please give her a round of applause once again. Thank you so much, ma. It's always a pleasure to learn from your wealth of knowledge, and we appreciate you. Moving on. As you can see that we're really moving very fast. We do not intend to take much of your time. And right now, it's time for us to get to know a little, have certain information about how this journey started in the first place. There's someone that is here that's going to take us through that journey, how this project was conceived, and the embryonic stage, the delivery stage, and the post-delivery stage. And to do that honors, please, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me Mr. Michael Ajayi, the Country Director of Enactus Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Victor. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to also crave your indulgence to stand on existing protocols. Are the students excited? Yes, you don't sound like you're excited. Yes, I'm sure your principals, wherever they are, would like to hear the sound of your voice. So if you're excited, let's hear you say, I am excited. I am excited. Yeah, now it's sounding loud around here. So let's hear this group, whether you will say it very well. I am happy to be here. Yes, and now to this side, let's see. It's a blessing to be here. It's a blessing to be here. Fantastic. So all of us together will now scream, Ethical Living Project. Ethical Living Project. And what's the tagline? Inculcating the values of ethic decision-making in Nigerian youths. So put your hands together for yourselves. My job has been made very easy with the brilliant submission by Mrs. Adefisayo and Dr. Oke and Nalama. I hope I did not destroy that. Thank you very much for your presentations. It took me back. The many things you said about the value of ethics, the impact of ethics, how it impacts you, your immediate family, society, particularly when you shared the story of your dad, and how 20 years later, his name still opens doors for you because of the investments he has made. So it takes me back to when we started this journey. Yeah. So I'm going to talk very briefly, and then we will show a video that actually captures everything, right? Let's go to, yes, this slide. I'll leave this slide on the screen for a moment, and whilst we talk about it, while I speak, just think about that, yeah? So a few months ago, when this journey of ethical living started, it was a little over a year ago. A little over a year ago, I got a phone call from ACA Foundation, and the issue was, Michael, we are thinking about something to do around ethics, and we're wondering if you could join the team that we curate this program. And I was like, okay, we can do that. I can share some thoughts, I can brainstorm and all of that. So our first session of brainstorm meeting was between myself, Mrs. Ua Obo, and the former staff of ACA, Wendy. That meeting was supposed to just be a conversation, so I was supposed to be given the opportunity to just share some thoughts around how it would be implemented, and that was supposed to be it. About 5 minutes into that conversation, the entire gist changed. Okay, Michael, wait. Can we have a proposal? And I was like, okay. And so the journey began. We started building the program. And one of the reasons, first it was a little bit trickish because enactors, for those who know, work in the university space. So we are mostly in the tertiary institutions and really do not work in the secondary schools. But we are talking about ethics here. And one of the core values of enactors is integrity. So after that meeting, on the phone, I had a meeting with my team in the office. And I was like, guys, we don't do anything in secondary schools. But we have integrity as one of our core values. But ACA is talking about ethical living. There must be a relationship between ethics and integrity. And although we are not directly involved in secondary schools, we do have our alumni, Enactors alumni, who have gone through the Enactors program and understand that value of integrity, that core value of integrity. And we know them. We've seen them implement these core values in their lives. And we can work through them to reach the students in secondary schools. And we agreed. And that's when we started building the program. That was when we became comfortable with that. Okay, although we are not directly in secondary schools, we have a compelling reason to be there now, and we have a pathway that still aligns with our purpose as an organization. And one of the reasons why we agreed to do that is also because of the potential impact. You know, to run away from that challenge to say, come, let's fix this together. I mean, I'm sure maybe in another 10, 15, 20 years when I retire, that probably would have been one of my biggest regrets, to say, I had a chance. I have preached integrity, I've preached ethics in the course of the work that we do, and I had a chance to engage young people, and I turned it down. So that made us to say, we must do this. So let's come back to this. So the heading is, Guess the Society. Anybody wants to try? So on the screen you see corruption, bribery, Yahoo, selfishness. There's one, I don't know why it's not showing. Okay, yes, there's Yahoo here. There's selfishness. There's something that didn't pop up. baptism. Some of you are raising your hands because you can guess, you have an idea where we're talking about. Yeah? These things are prevalent in a particular place, well, not a particular place, in different parts of the world. But we all can relate. There's no need to mention names, but we all can relate. These things have become endemic simply because of the absence of ethics. And of course, there's much more, there's plenty of other words to add to this screen, but we'll just work with this. The absence of ethics, of values, of morals are the reasons why these things, or part of the reasons why these things are prevalent. And like I said earlier on, that was part of the reasons why we decided that we can do this. And although, as I was talking to Dr. Oke earlier, and I said, although we cannot measure the impact of this immediately, we cannot say we've gotten to the finish line. We cannot say everybody in this room have been transformed by virtue of the Ethical Living Project. But we can see already that they are on a journey and they've started on the right path. And that is comforting to know that if all of you, the students in this room, stick to the values, then you will get to the finish line, as Mrs. Adefisai said. So the charge is for you, all of you here, to stay focused, stay in line, applying the knowledge you have gained throughout the program, in your daily living. Hold yourself accountable to the highest standards and hold others accountable to the same standards. That's when we'll build a better society and transform this into a glorious society that we want to see. Next slide, please. Let's go. Next slide. I've taken a bit of time. Next slide. So we'll just go to, okay, well, we can talk about the goals or the objectives very briefly. But beyond these objectives, I've already explained the real compelling driving force behind us building and curating this program and investing in ourselves and everything else to ensuring that we get to this point. Next slide. I've talked about the why. So next slide. Yes. So I'll just very quickly take us through the journey that we've been on. And some of you, particularly the students, you will see yourselves here. So after that call to say, how do we do this? We've had several other calls, several meetings, and all of that. Once we agreed that it was going to be structured the way we have structured it, the next thing was to develop the curriculum, because we knew that it is in the curriculum that how potent the curriculum is will determine how effective the program would become. And so we invested time, a lot of time, a lot of research, a lot of work. What is interesting is there's a lot of resources, but we needed to keep it simple. So the most difficult part was to keep it simple because we knew who we were targeting. And so the curriculum took about 2 months or so, or at least 6 weeks, to just put together. And afterwards, now that we have the curriculum, we move to the training materials. We needed to give the facilitators, we couldn't be in the classrooms going around every of the 10 schools. What that meant was we needed to find people who shared the same vision and passion, who could then take the torch and move forward. But we needed to also guide them in a way without taking away their own ability to express themselves and share their own examples and experiences. And so that became a difficult thing. That made it a difficult thing to do, to develop those materials in a way that the implementers would be able to deliver it effectively. But then we developed the materials, the facilitators guide, and also the slides, the presentation slides that contained all the information. But before we even got to that, we needed to have the experience of people who had gone ahead of us, who could say, that thing you're about to do sounds nice, but this can be the outcome, the unintended outcome. And thanks to Mrs. Ua, who insisted that we must have the steering committee, we put together a group of professionals. Professor Elegido is here, Mrs. Adefisayo is here, Mrs. Ua Obo is here, and Mr. Paul Koko Richa, who is unavoidably absent here today. Please, let's put our hands together for these members of the steering committee. I was telling someone just last week, was it last week now, a few days, maybe 2 days ago, I was like, I've never had meetings, steering committee meetings, the way I have had meetings on this project ever. That's to tell you how important it was. And the interesting thing is the steering committee members always made themselves available to contribute. And they guided us to ensure that we got what we eventually got. And next we went to recruitment of schools. To recruit the schools, we had to engage with the Lagos State government to secure approval first, right? And then eventually we were able to identify the 10 schools to work with. And then we went on to recruit the training facilitators. And we have 30 training facilitators who work with us. Like I said earlier on, 20 of these 30 were former Enactus students or alumni of the Enactus program, and some of them are seated in the room right now. And 10 of these people, Dr. Oke, are members of your team. 10 of their time, 6 weeks, going to their assigned schools, spending minimum of 1 hour or 90 minutes with the students, week in, week out for 6 weeks, committedly until the end of it. I'd like to recognize them. If you are a facilitator, whether an alumnus of Enactus or a staff, please stand up to be recognized. During their induction training, one of the things I recall saying to them was that, please, you may sit. Thank you very much for your commitment. During their induction training, one of the things I recall saying to them is the success of the Ethical Living Project rests with you in terms of the training and other things. And so with their training, we moved into the workshops, which I just spoke about. 6 weeks of intensive training, over 10 secondary schools, running simultaneously. And afterwards, we established, or we threw open, the special essay writing competition. And this competition blew my mind in a lot of ways. First of all, I did not expect the turnout. I told them in the office that we will not have more than 15 participants per school. 15 participants per school would have taken us to 150 because there were 10 schools. But we had almost 70% of the population we were working with participate in the program. We had 353 students sitting for the essay writing competition. They actually turned in their essay. This is why it's interesting. So the essay competition took place during the holiday, not during school time. So they had to come back to school for that purpose, right? And they sat as if they wrote exams, and they turned in their applications. And one of the coordinators from the secondary schools said to us that, so their students thought that we were going to do they will submit their essays online, because we had given them the topic about 2 weeks prior. And so he said that they thought that they were submitting to the school, and so they had brought their essays to the school to submit ahead of the day of the essay writing itself. And that showed commitment. That showed that they were interested to begin to articulate their thoughts concerning ethics and, apply the things that they have learned during the workshop. So that, okay. And so we had the essays, and of course, when we received the 353 applications, we had to screen them. And so we went through 3 different stages of screening, employing WAEC certified professional scorers for level 1 and level 2 to help us determine the top 5 most outstanding essays. And then at level 3, we decided that we will use professionals who have cognitive experience and none better than some of the people we had already started working with. And so that panel came together to look at the top 5 entries as determined by the 2 levels of screening panels, 2 different groups of panels. And eventually, we have ranked the top 5. Now we know who is first, who is second, who is third, who is fourth, and who is fifth. Do you want to know the winners? Guess what? That you stepped out of your homes on that day and went on that trip to your schools. Even if you didn't end up writing that essay, you had already won. Better still, that you now sat down, tasked yourself, and wrote and submitted. Nothing can be more exciting than that. So please put your hands together for yourselves again. I always say that winning is very good, but there's something more important than winning, and that is the attempt to win. So winning is the end of the journey. You've gotten there. But the attempt to win is you investing yourself in the process, in that journey. Recall that winning is the end of the journey, right? But the attempt to win is you going through that journey and enjoying every bit of it until you get to the end. And it is in the process of attempting to win. Attempting to win also means that you study, you conduct research, you ask questions. That process of attempting to win builds your capacity, empowers you so that you are better off for it. So congratulations to all of you that have gone through the exercise. And today, we are here to honor not just the ones who will be announced as winners, but to celebrate all of you. And that is why we are gathered here in the grand finale of the Ethical Living Project 1.0. That means, and I'm following through with what Dr. Oke said earlier, that there will be subsequent editions. So we have tagged this one, therefore, 1.0, so that there will be 2.0 and much more. So we thought it was necessary to talk about this journey so that everyone, but especially the students in the room, will understand that this wasn't just a program built out of thin air. It was a program built out of necessity, and it was deliberate, and we structured it the way we did intentionally for one purpose: to transform you. And I hope that that becomes a charge to all of you, to say people that we have never met, we have never known, took time to think about us and curated something special that will immediately impact us so that we can then transform the nation. And because of that, you will take the learnings from the beginning to now seriously. You will imbibe them in your daily living. You will hold yourselves accountable to their higher standards, and you will hold everyone else, including your parents, accountable to the highest standards. Thank you very much, and God bless you all. My name is Michael Ajayi, and I'm the Country Director for Enactors Nigeria. Enactors is an international non-profit organization that is dedicated to the development of youth leadership. Focus is to transform Nigerian youth into resourceful, purposeful, and values-driven entrepreneurial leaders and social innovators. Interestingly, Enactors Nigeria is the project implementing partner for the Ethical Living Project, which is fully funded by the African Capital Alliance Foundation, or ACAF.
Teaching this program, we think, will be extremely impactful to ensuring that, a lot of our youth of today can end up being ethical leaders tomorrow. And the broad impact really is to ensure that we can create or build a generation of young people who will say, as a result of the learnings that they've taken, from this effort, that they've been able to not only change or improve the course of their lives, but hopefully also impact the communities in which they operate or live in.
The Ethical Living Project is an altruistic intervention that is designed to elevate consciousness around ethics, integrity, personal values, and discipline amongst young people particularly of secondary school age in Lagos State. And as a pilot this year, the Ethical Living Project was implemented in 10 selected secondary schools from 3 of the 6 educational districts in Lagos State.
Individually and collectively, if you are doing what is right, you will realize that there is good conduct.
Will you risk going to jail for another 10 years because of 100,000? Now you weigh the two actions and say, which one should I do?
This is what we call the reflective introspection. When you think about it deep, you're like, okay, I can actually, communicate with someone about how I feel without hurting the person.
Ethics shapes society. The ethical decisions you take can help improve the society.
Integrity, truthfulness, honesty, justice, fairness. You find out that when you're me and fair to you, we are good.
For me, really, it is such a pleasure to see what has become of this project. I mean, the kind of impact it is already having, and more importantly, the way the target audience have completely embraced it with passion and excitement. In this pilot phase of the project, we had 534 teenagers from 10 secondary schools participated, and these individuals attended a 6-week training workshop that is based on the Ethical Living training curriculum that was designed and implemented for this purpose.
We do appreciate the commitment of ACA for this wonderful program, because it will go a long way for our students to be able to be successful in their future life. We are training them academically, but things that have ethical values. We are grateful that this NGO came along to help us to impact these values onto them.
It has helped them to make valid judgments about themselves, do self-assessment, and to be able to relate well with others.
The program is so educative. It has good values. We have been seeing a lot of changes, and we hope it will continue. The ones that are good are going to send it down to the students in the school.
The Ethical Living curriculum has 6 different modules, including the introduction to ethics, because we realized that one of the challenges of the target audience was that they really do not understand the concept of ethics or integrity. And so it was important to introduce integrity and that whole concept to them. The curriculum also talks about the issue of conflict of values. And the essence of the module on conflict of value is to help them realize that when they consciously start thinking and acting ethically, there will come a time when they will be conflicted on choices to make, really. So the purpose of this module is to empower them with the knowledge and the skills to be able to navigate through the murky waters of conflict of value situation.
From my point of view, this program has been a very good experience because I've learned how important it is to be an ethical person, how important it is to hold your values up high.
I am going to be very much careful about the decisions I take and the way I act with people.
Personally, I will always operate my ethics. Ethics come first.
I learned that we don't make decisions based on our emotion, most especially when you are angry.
It has impacted me in the sense that I've become more aware of myself and my surroundings.
I've also learned that if you are the type of person that takes something that does not belong to you, then you pick it up, give it to the rightful owner, or keep it where the person can find it.
These 534 teenagers actively participated in the 6-week Ethical Living workshop, exploring the concept and the impact of values on themselves, on family, community, and society at large. Afterwards, we threw up an Ethical Living essay writing competition that was designed to inspire them to begin to apply the knowledge they have gained during the 6-week period of intense soul searching, in writing an essay. And the purpose of this really is to put them in a situation where they have to streamline and articulate their thoughts, concerning ethics and its applications. By so doing, we have reinforced the lessons of the workshops and have also inculcated those values in them.
The impact of this program in public schools or in schools in general would be, it would plant a seed that will eventually germinate in the future. We understand that we're doing the groundwork, the weeding of certain vices that has been normalized in the society, and it is our vision that at the end of the day, each of these students will become change makers or change actors in the society, who are not just taking actions when it comes to driving change, but also in their morals, that they are also speaking up against ills or evils in the society as well.
We are complaining about where we found ourselves in terms of Nigeria as an economy and as a society, but the change starts with each and every one of us. And this Ethical Living project is about imbibing that change in the students, and then they can spread it to their peers and society at large.
So for us, the Ethical Living project is really another expression of our commitment to youth development and national transformation. And we are very grateful and excited for the opportunity to partner with the Africa Capital Alliance Foundation on this project.
That's a wonderful presentation. How many of you saw yourselves in the video here? I see. Aren't you proud of yourselves? Please give yourself a round of applause once again. I saw myself too in the middle of the class. I was telling them that that video, that's the worst of my enemy, so. Well, anyway, it's been wonderful. The experience has been so fantastic. I wish, if you were not there, I wish you were there. The kind of experience we had with these young Nigerians are super amazing. I can assure you, some of them came up with questions that are not academical, life questions. Some of them were at certain junction in their life that they need to make certain important decisions. And we are grateful that our well-trained facilitators were there to provide guidance and the right mentorship for them. So please, let's give ourselves a round of applause once again. So as we move on to the next point of call, which is a panel session. Now you've seen, you've heard virtually. Now it's time to hear them talk in person. To lead us in this panel session, please join me to welcome from African Capital Alliance, Ms. Amarachi Tony Uba. She will be moderating this session. You're welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I see my students from Koramo Senior College. Good morning. Welcome to our panel discussion for today. My name is, again, Amarachi Tonyuba, and I'm honored to be your moderator for today's session, which is, going to talk about ethical living and its importance in today's society. So we all know we live in a world that is increasingly interconnected, and the decisions we make every day, from the things that we do to the things that we say, and to how we interact with each other, have far-reaching consequences and shape the world around us. So which is why, African Capital Alliance Foundation partnered with Enactus to teach this at a secondary level, as the saying goes, catch them young, watch them grow. So this is why we've decided to teach this at that level, so we raise the next generation of leaders. And so today we'll be hearing from a group of insightful and articulate students. I mean, I have had the pleasure to, hear from these students myself, and I would say I was really impressed. I was a facilitator myself, and I was particularly impressed with how they embraced, what we had to say, and they were very excited. I mean, the excitement was constant from week 1 through to week 6, and I'm so delighted that we're at the grand finale, and we'll be hearing from some of these students ourselves. Now, as we navigate today's discussion, I would like us to have an open mind, and our goal today is to spark thoughtful conversations, that can inspire actions and inspire change. So, without further ado, would you join me to welcome our panelists? Our first panelist of today is Ayonfe Oluwa Otelaja from CMS Grammar School. And we have our second panelist, Adeniran Damilare from Boys Senior Academy. Next up, we have Chisom Kanu Favor from CMS Girls Senior Grammar School. And our final panelist for today is Akiola Modupe Sumaya from Koramo Senior College. Okay. Thank you for joining me on stage. So you all have participated in the 6 weeks workshop that we had, and you all also Okay, thank you. All right, so you all participated in the 6 weeks workshop through to the essay competition, right? And okay, so my first question, which is for you, Ayonfe Oluwa, right? So what is your general impression of the Ethical Living Project?
Alright, thanks so much, Ma. So, I recently attended the Ethical Living Projects organized by Endaxus Nigeria, and I must say that it was a very transformative and wonderful experience for me. I saw the project as a very inspirational program, aside from the fact that it was incredibly well organized, informative, and impactful, especially in the lives of we students. Personally, I really loved the level of interactiveness of all the sessions, from the first session down to the sixth. All the discussions, all the activities, they were just so thought-provoking and engaging, and this then gave me the enthusiasm to participate more, and it really seemed to me that others were actually greatly inspired as well. I was amazed by a lot of things, not to lie, from the project's thoughtful approach to creating positive change, to its emphasis on the need for equity and justice in our society. One of the things that really impressed me the most was the level of passion and knowledge of all the facilitators and speakers of the projects. They spoke so passionately about all the topics. They were just so elegant and free to communicate with us. Their focus on social responsibility, our role to play, it really left a lasting impression on me, I must say. And they kept on reminding us that for the fact that we are students, that we are young, doesn't mean that we also can't contribute to the betterness of our society in terms of ethics. So what I'm just trying to say is that I would highly recommend the Ethical Living Project for anyone who is really interested in living a more responsible and compassionate life, because it has helped me to re-examine my own values and habits and motivated me to always know that I can make a change wherever I find myself. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ayonfe Oluwa. So I would just like to throw the same question to you, Damilare. What is your general impression about the project, and also what is one thing that impressed you the most about the project?
The Ethical Living Project is a positive initiative that promotes a lifestyle guided by ethical principles such as compassion, fairness, and others. This project aims to inspire young individuals to make conscious choices to themselves, others, and even the planet. This initiative is a way youth are being tailored to the right path of proper decision making. It is also a way in which youth It is also a way of eroding social vices among youth, because social vices will never choose criminal act as the next option. And as an ambassador of Ethical Living Project, from today henceforth, I've been able to be craving to sustain myself from all those bad lifestyle of me, because I'm a part of this Ethical Living Project. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Damilare. To you, Chisom, can you share with us? Okay. Can you share with us how participating in the Ethical Living Project has changed your perspective about ethics and life in general?
Thank you very much for the question.
Engaging in the ethical living project has brought about a significant impact on me as a student. As a student, just helps me, to build self-confidence. I used to have inferiority complex then, but now I'm confident enough, which is one of the reasons I'm here today talking to every one of us. That's built my self-confidence to talk, to address issues publicly. I can talk publicly. Now I'm a public speaker. Also, it has helped me to cultivate the habit of reading. I used to be a very lazy student then. I find it difficult to read. Whenever I take my notes to read, I just slip off there, which is very bad for a student striving for success. But now, through the Ethical Living Project, I've been able to, read intentionally. I read every day when I come back from school, not only when exams are approaching. Also, the Ethical Living Project has helped me to provide a sense of purpose and meaning in my daily life. In a nutshell, Ethical Living Project has, helped me, has profoundly affects me in my relationship, my well-being, my relationship, my well-being, and my contributions to the society, for the growth of the society. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chisom. I mean, you mentioned that you used to struggle with inferiority complex, and I mean, seeing her here today on stage in front of almost 200 people is a testament to, what we're talking about, and to the great, tutelage of what she received during the 6 weeks workshop program. And I just hope that this continues. Thank you, Chisom. The next question is to you, Modupe. What particular experience or activity during the workshop had the most significant impact on you?
It was indeed a great opportunity for me. Sorry. Thank you so much. It was indeed a great opportunity for me to participate during the 6 week of Ethical Living program, because it has benefited me in so many ways. And one of the activities that had a profound impact on me is the group case study on social responsibility. For example, human trafficking, embezzlement, bribery and corruption, and everything that is happening in our society today. So Ethical Living helped me to collaborate with my colleagues on how to solve such problems in our society. And secondly, for example, now, if I want to do something to someone, I have to sit down and think about it properly. How is this thing going to affect the person? What impact is it going to have on the person? Is it going to have a negative impact or positive impact on the person? So this thing has already helped me a lot in making decisions in life.
Thank you so much, Modupe. Thank you for also highlighting, the different ways in which you can incorporate, ethical living in your daily life. Thinking about the other person is not always about you. Thank you so much, Modupe. The next question is for you, Damilare. So what would you say is one of the most important things or the most important values you took away from this entire project, and why is it important to you?
Thank you, Ms. Moderator, for giving me the floor. I'll say it's intentional living, because intentional living means being deliberate and mindful of our thoughts, words, and action, ensuring that you align with ethical values in promoting a greater good society and also contributing to a just and compassionate world. This concept is important for some reason. One, awareness. It makes us to be more aware about the world around us. It also encourages us to contribute positively to the environment. By embracing this intentional living, we all can promote social justice and equality, cultivate meaningful relationships, and also become role models for positive changes in the environment. In essence, this intentional living helps us to live a more ethical, authentic, responsible, and also a compassionate life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Damilare. I mean, just to mention, I mentioned that these students were very articulate, and I'm sure you can all agree with me. I've also learned something from him. He talked about intentional living. So not just living your life as you please, but being intentional about every single, decision that you make. Thank you so much, Damilare, for that. Ayonfe, just a similar question like Damilare. I'm sure you had a key takeaway from this project. So my question to you is, how do you plan to, if you're not already, how do you plan to imbibe these values, these ethical values and leadership skills that you gained from the project?
All right, thanks so much, Ma. As a young individual, I feel that it's first of all necessary for me to reflect on all that I've learned and then relate it to how it resonates with me by relating them to my personal experiences and goals, because only then can I then proceed on incorporating these leadership skills into my personal life, maybe by advocating for policy change, for positive societal change, and making it a habitual part of my behavior. Then I also really feel that it's important to stay curious and open to new knowledges and experiences. Growing up, I was actually a very curious person, to be honest. Especially when I was in JS, when I had this particular senior, I would bombard him with just a lot of questions, and he'll be like, "Ayanfe, this question never do you need." And that just gave me more understanding and integration of what was going on around me. So I feel that staying curious and open to new knowledges and experiences will help you to understand and imbibe these values and principles that we are talking about. Another key thing I really feel is that we should learn how to celebrate our accomplishments, no matter how small they may be. Imbibing these principles, these skills, it's a gradual process. It's not something that can happen in a snap of a finger. You need to learn how to appreciate what you have done, and I really feel like acknowledging this achievement will help to reinforce these values and principles and then motivate you to continue. But most importantly, overall, I really feel that it is important to surround yourself with people who share the same goals as you, because it is such like-minded people who can help to inspire and motivate you to keep going on your ethical journey.
Thank you so much, Ayanfe. I asked you one question and you already bombarded me with 3 key points. So he mentioned something about staying curious, and he also talked about celebrating your little accomplishments. I never even thought of it that way. You know, internalizing it is not a one-day journey. It's a lifelong journey of internalizing and getting better every day. And he also talked about also surrounding yourselves with people of like minds, because I mean, no man is an island, and the people you surround yourselves with can also influence you. So you need to be very intentional about those people that you surround yourselves with. Thank you, Ayanfe. I've also taken that away from today. Okay, so Chisom, since the workshops and the essay writing, how have you been able to influence people around you, be it family, friends, even your classmates as well? How have you been able to influence people around you to do the right thing? And you could also throw some examples.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. Okay, influencing people around me to do things right and to live more ethically, has a mix of personal behavior, communication skills, and understanding human psychology. Okay, I've been able to influence people around me by leading by example. With my experience, I've come to discover that people are easily convinced and moved with what they see rather than what they hear. So I've been able to lead by example, by making sure that I am consistent in my ethical behavior and decision making. Also, I've been able to establish trust. I believe that people will follow my lead if they trust and believe that I have their best interests at heart. Also, I've been able to reward ethical behavior. When I see those who demonstrate ethical behavior, I try to encourage them by, letting them know the benefits of living ethically, and also helping them know the impact it could create to other people. Because there's a saying that says, positive reinforcement makes the suits to follow. Positive reinforcement makes suits to follow. I don't know if you get that. Positive reinforcement helps the suits to follow. I don't know. You get. Also, I've been okay. In a nutshell, also I've been able to carry people along. Supporting those who try to live ethically but find it difficult. Lecturing them on how to, guiding them through on how to choose between right things and to follow things that are right to live ethically. True. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chisom Favor. You mentioned staying consistent and leading by example. So it's not just to, hold the mic and tell people, but also remember to also do what you preach, practice what you preach. So thank you so much for highlighting that. And my final question is to you, Modupe. Do you think programs such as these are important in our communities, and why?
Yes, I strongly agree with that, because based on my personal experience during the 6 week of ethical living program, it has benefited me in so many ways, and I believe that all the students who participated during the program has already gained something. So programs like this will be very good in our society, because it's a creation of awareness based on what is going on in our society and how we can solve it. It also guides us in making decisions in our life, and also it helps us to know, like, some things that you cannot do in public. So what's the essence of doing it in private, since you know that, yes, if you do it in public, it might bring shame to you or people around you. So
thank you so much for highlighting that. I think that's from the Sunlight Principle, right?
Yes,
it's one of the principles
the
we
of
taught.
The Sunlight Principle.
Exactly. So thank you so much for highlighting that. Before we close out, there will be a Q&A section, or also, if you have comments, you would also, we encourage you to share your comments, share your questions with us. But before that session, you can be gathering your questions and your thoughts together. I'd like to get final words from each of you, and I'll be starting with Ayonfe Oluwa.
If I was to say all that was in my head right now to all of you, we all won't believe me anytime soon. So, just to save time, I would just like to appeal to everyone present here to always have it in mind that small actions can lead to big changes. All right, you don't have to wait for grand opportunities to come your way before you think you can make a positive, significant impact in your society. Remember that every great achievement started with a single step, a single decision, and a single action. All right, don't underestimate the power of your individual efforts, whether it is standing up for social justice or simply just being a supportive friend or family member. Always have it in mind that your action matters. And also, I really don't know if I can stress this enough, but do not be discouraged. Alright, many of us who have actually committed to this ethical lifestyle and are engaging in activities to make this possible. As our mommy, Ms. Adif said earlier, you have to feel pains in this ethical journey. It's not a smooth ride. And many of you, because of these obstacles that we are facing, we then feel disheartened or dispirited. But what if I told you that instead of feeling that way, why don't you just learn to get motivated by your peers around you and your community? Focus more on progress than perfection, and also learn to celebrate every small win, knowing that it will lead to big victories.
I think at this point we can just close. He's a facilitator himself at this point. Thank you so much for those profound words. One thing I took out from that was small actions lead to big changes. So it might not just be a grand thing. That little thing you're doing, it leads to something, something extraordinary. Thank you so much. Modupe, over to you. Your final words.
Okay, so I would like to appreciate everyone that is involved in putting together this prestigious event. So I would like you all to know that we, the young ones, are the leaders of tomorrow. And they believe in us, so we should believe in ourselves. And we should not allow any of our background to bring us down. You should always dream big. If your dream does not fear you, please leave it and take another one. Have another dream. So please, dream big and work towards your dreams, and you will achieve a lot in life.
Thank you so much. So our dreams should fear us, as Modupe said. Okay, Damilare, over to you.
The Ethical Living Project encourages us to live intentionally, making sure that our choices align with good ethical value, help individuals in both personal and professional settings. By fulfilling your obligations and commitments, you are building good quality enough to promote a just and equitable society for future generations to come. So before I drop the mic, thank you, the panelists, the moderator, and also to our audience. I want to thank you for your level of engagement and curiosity. So I would like to put all of us in a call to action, which says that any small changes in our habit can collectively to lead to each significant result in the society. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Damilare. Thank you so much. So we'll be taking the final words from our final panelist, Chisom Favor.
Okay, thank you very much. I would like to say good citizen, makes a great nation. Good citizen makes a great nation. Ethical living promotes citizen participation. Ethical living promotes citizen participation to build a great nation. A situation whereby citizens come together, to take responsibility to fulfill their civic rights and to, fulfill their legal obligation also. By doing things that are right in their little corners, to promote ethical living in the society. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, my panelists, my articulate panelists. Before we leave, we would like to get any questions or comments you may have from the audience. You've listened so far. If you have any comments or questions for any of my panelists, we'll just be taking only 3 questions or comments. Okay, there's a hand there.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma. I'm so happy to be part of this wonderful and laudable program, which is ethical living. Number one, my own comment is that it will help the society generally to have change of mind towards the Gen Z, because there is this general belief that the Gen Z world are tailored and ill brought up. That is at least the narrative is going to change now, because they are going to act as catalysts of a positive change in the society and in any capacity they find themselves. That is the little contribution.
Thank you so much for that contribution. Thank you so much. Do we have any more comments or questions?
Thank you very much. My name is Akinwale Mayowa. I'm very, 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 very excited to be here. Looking at these future leaders, the way they spoke their mind eloquently is, giving us that encouragement that we have a better future in this country. And I just want to appreciate the convener. It couldn't have come at a better time. And seeing them speak their mind, bringing their originality into their thought process is something that is, worth a while. But I just want to, encourage that this to be escalated more. More of those fora should come up and just give them a voice. And I want to thank you once again for giving them a voice for them to be heard also. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Please, a round of applause for my amazing panelists. Okay, I'll be taking the last question or comment. Okay. Okay, we have some questions from the students. After that.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Hello. My own comment, I just want to quote one of the founders of Nigeria, late Alfred Rewane, who said that yesterday we yearned for a better tomorrow, but today we mourn the loss of better yesterday. That yesterday was what our mom, immediate past commissioner for education, referred to when things were normal with Nigeria. But those old people, when they now look back, they say we have missed it all. But with ethical living, we are no longer mourning today. I can see the future, and it's going to be good. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Good day, everyone. With all they have said, I just understand that ethical life should not just be a lofty dream, but a daily reminder to uphold.
Thank you. Ethical living should be a daily reminder to uphold. Thank you so much. And with that, we've come to the end of our panel session. I hope we left you with some words to think about, and I hope we're able to inspire some actions. Thank you so much.
All right, please let's give him a round of applause once again. It has been an insightful session, and if you were not at the workshops, you can see the result here. Facilitators, where are you? Please give yourself a round of applause, please. You did very well, and we are proud of you. All right, now we are moving to the next session, which is the presentation of awards. I would have said drum rolls. But this session celebrates the students that did fantastically during the essay writing competition, and those that were able to articulate their thoughts in such a way that is convincing and compelling. So we want to recognize them. Okay, yes, it's good to internalize, but also it's much more important to let it out so that people can benefit and read. Before we zoom into the award session, I want to specially recognize few people that came in between. The representative from the Ministry of Education, Mrs. From Education District 3, representing the Tutor General Permanent Secretary, Education District 3. Join me to welcome Mrs. Lawal Olaiton. She's representing Lagos State Government, Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. And also we have the principal of Dolphin here, Mr. Kenlabi. Can you please stand up for recognition? We thank you for taking your time to show up today. And also Mrs. Adegoke from Ojota Senior Secondary. Where are you, please? Thank you. You've been a wonderful supervisor. All right, so it's time for the award ceremony. First of all, we want to recognize the schools that participated in this program. And because without them embracing this program, it will be difficult for us. And if they don't provide the kind of environment that gives our facilitators the freedom to work with these young children, it will be difficult to get the kind of outcome we're getting today. So we want to specially recognize them. And while we're recognizing them, we also recognize the top 3 from the school so that we can just collapse those 2 awards to save our time. So ladies and gentlemen, from all right, thanks for that input. All right, to present the award, I want to invite Ogedi Onyema, Principal Investor, African Capital Alliance, please. Thank you very much. And representing Government Senior College, Ikoyi, Lagos. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome Mr. Bamidele Ayotunde. Joining him will be the top 3 essayists from that school. Are you ready for the names? The second runner-up, drum rolls. Please give it up for Sunday Ejiro Faith. Sunday Ejiro Faith. Now the first runner-up, now the first runner-up, which is the second place, is Hayola Faidat Omawumi. See excitement, see excitement. All right. The first place, the winner of the essay writing for Government Senior College Ikoyi, the first place, the winner. Okay. Koleosho Yanolua, where are you? Congratulations, Koleosho Yanolua Elizabeth. Congratulations. So, let's do the awards, then Koleosho will have to stay behind a bit. So this is the award for the school, this is the award for the first place, second place, and second position, third position, third place winner.
Miss Faith,
you come here. You join them.
Congratulations. Our second place winner, Faidat Amobi Ayola. Congratulations. And our first place winner, Elizabeth.
And Elizabeth wins 50,000 naira cash prize, courtesy Africa Capital Alliance Foundation. Big congratulations to Kole Oshoyanoluwa Elizabeth for doing fantastically from Government Senior College, Ikoyi, Lagos. Please give her a round of applause again. All right, let's move on. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, so thank you. Thank you so much, Mrs. Ogedi. We appreciate you. Now, to do the awards for the next school, please join me to invite Ijoma Amunebe, Head Human Resource, African Capital Alliance. Thank you. And joining our stage, representing Konde Daunsi Memorial Senior High School, Osborn, Lagos, the principal, Mrs. Ajiboye Olanike. Also, the top 3 winners from Konde Daunsi Senior High School. The 3rd place, Alabi Aliyah Beni. Aliyah, where are you? The 2nd place, Sheu Agaka Memunat. Wait, let her take pictures first. And the 1st place goes to Oseni Akwiba Akorede. Congratulations, Akwiba. And also, Akwiba goes home with a sum of 50,000 naira cash prize. Courtesy African Capital Alliance Foundation. Congratulations. All right, thank you. Please give them a round of applause. All right, thank you. To do the honors for the next school, please, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, please welcome with me Remy Nanayo, Head Information Technology, African Capital Alliance. Representing Government Senior College, Maroko Osborn School Complex, please join me to welcome the principal, Mr. Atumbo. Please give him a round of applause, please. Now, in the 3rd place, Sule Ifeoluwa Rebecca, where are you? Congratulations. Congratulations. The 2nd place goes to Musa Endurance. Musa Endurance, congratulations. I noticed that we have more girls winning these awards than guys. What's happening here? I'm not jealous, I'm just inquisitive. I'm just curious. And the winner from Government Senior Secondary School, Maroko Osborn Schools Complex, Ikoyi, Lagos, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me, Anthony Joy. Anthony Joy, congratulations. I like your majestic walking. Congratulations. You deserve it. Congratulations. And also, to ensure that the joy is overflowing, she goes on with 50,000 naira courtesy, African Capital Alliance. Congratulations, congratulations, and congratulations. So thank you very much. We'll move on. Ladies and gentlemen, to present the next award, I'm inviting an investment professional from African Capital Alliance. Please join me to welcome Mr. Muiz Bello. Muiz Bello. So coming on stage, CMS Grammar School, represented by the supervisor. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome Mr. Mayowa Akinwale. So we'll be receiving the participation award. Joining him is the third place, Erega Divine. In the second place is Wungwiku Ekene Dichuku. Congratulations, Ekene Dichuku. The first place, the first position from CMS Grammar School. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Otela Jayonfeoluwa. Mr. Curiosity. Congratulations. All right, to complete this award is going home with a sum of 50,000 naira as well. Congratulations, Ayonfeoluwa. Congratulations. All right, thank you. Give them a round of applause once again. All right, to do the honors for the next school, join me to welcome Head Admin, African Capital Alliance, Mrs. Linda Itabo. And joining her, the principal of CMS Girls Senior Grammar School, Bariga, Lagos, Mrs. Majekodunmi Lanre. All right. In the third place, for CMS Girls, please join me to welcome Lawal Faridat Okpeyemi. Please give her a round of applause. It's not easy to write an essay. All right, the second place is Afangide Patience Okon. And the first place is Anifowoshe Ayomide Tobi. Congratulations to all our winners. All right, thank you very much. To take us through the next award section. Oh, huh. All right. You will have your money. Nothing is going to change that. So, Anifowoshe, congratulations. She has just won under 50,000 naira. Courtesy African Capital Alliance Foundation. All right, please give them a round of applause once again. All right, please, may I have the pleasure of Mr. Kunle Ali from African Capital Alliance to come forward for the next award. And representing Dolphin Senior High School, Lagos Island, please join me to welcome the principal, Mr. Akintunde. Sorry, Akilabi. Mr. Akilabi, please give him a round of applause. All right, in the third place, from Dolphin Senior High School, please join me to welcome Amusa Okpemikpo. Amusa Okpemikpo. The second place, Omojola Tolani. Tolani, where are you? Congratulations. And the winner from Dolphin Senior High, who will also pocket a sum of 50,000 naira. Please join me to welcome Olaoye Elizabeth. Congratulations, Elizabeth. So Elizabeth wins a sum of 50,000 naira. Congratulations, Elizabeth. All right, thank you very much. You may please take your seat. Now we move on to Boys Senior Academy, Lagos Island, Lagos. But to do this honor, please join me to welcome Mr. Henry Atta, Investor Public Relations, African Capital Alliance. While he's on his way, please join me to welcome the representative of Boys Senior High School, Lagos Island. Please come forward, please. Okay, in person of the principal, Mr. Oguyemi SK. Mr. Oguyemi, please, let's have you on stage. Thank you very much. All right. In the third place, Olibe James. Congratulations, Olibe James. Wow, I love your cap. Congratulations, Olive. Reminds me of someone. If you're in my generation, you know. And the boy is very smart. Congratulations, Olive James. And the second place is Ajomagberi Ismail. Ajomagberi Ismail. Congratulations, Ismail. Go and collect your award. And the winner from Boys Senior Academy, Lagos Island, who is also a recipient of 50,000 naira, Ogunlowo Ayomide. Congratulations, Ogunlowo Ayomide. Congratulations, congratulations. All right, thank you very much. We move on to do the honors. Please give them a round of applause, please. Give them a round of applause. Thank you very much. Now, to do the next honors, please join me to welcome Mr. Laolu Alabi, Capic Investment Officer, Africa Capital Alliance. Please give him a round of applause, please. And representing Kuramos Senior College, Victoria Island, Lagos, please join me to welcome Mrs. Bolanle Ajao, representing the principal, and she's also the coordinator for this project in Kuramo Senior College. So in the third place, Noah Mercy. Congratulations, Mercy. Please give her a round of applause, please. In the second place, Onyeka Ijeoma. And the first place goes to the first place and also 50,000 naira. Big money. Goes to Sylvester Joram. Men are saying they are proud of you. Oh. Congratulations, Joram. We congratulate all the winners. All right, thank you very much. To do the honors for the second to the last school, I mentioned second to the last school to tell us that we are rounding up. Please join me to welcome Aziza Abiola, Regulatory Compliance Officer, African Capital Alliance. Thank you. From Ojota Senior Secondary, please join me to welcome representing the principal, Mrs. Adegoke. Thank you for all your support. You know, our coordinators in schools will testify to the fact that we call, we mail, we send SMSs like rapidly to just make sure that they are getting all the information that they need to get. So thank you for your support. We appreciate you. Third place, Ojota Senior Secondary, Badmos Basit Olamide. Congratulations. In the second place, Job Victoria Awuzia Awuza Ahoiza. Okay, is Hose. All right, the winner from Ojota Senior Secondary, Elelu Fadila Tayomiku. Congratulations to all the girls that has been winning. All the boys and the men in the house are proud of you. And also she wins 50,000 naira. Congratulations to the winners. So thank you very much. Congratulations, congratulations, and congratulations. Yeah. So to do the honors for the next section, please join me to welcome the head external relations and the admin of Africa Capital Alliance Foundation. Join me to welcome Mr. Adetoro. Joining him on stage is the representative of the principal. 1 minute. Okay, the representative of the principal, which is the vice principal of Baptist Academy. Join me to welcome the vice principal, Mr. Adigun S.A. Please give him a round of applause. And in the third place, Onoso Yafolajimi Daniel. Congratulations. In the second place, Adejumola Marvelous. And the winner from Baptist Academy, Obanikoro, Lagos, is Excellency Emmanuel. His name comes with Excellency. So, Your Excellency. So, Excellency Emmanuel, please give him a round of applause. And he also wins a 50,000 naira. Right, congratulations, Excellency. All right, as the director of Enactus, country director of Enactus Nigeria mentioned in his presentation, we had an essay competition where over 300 students wrote, and these are the top 3 winners from all the schools. Please give them a round of applause once again. So, we moved on to the next stage of screening and assessment. And to determine the overall top 3 winners. And To do these honors, I want to invite the country director of Enactus Nigeria to introduce. 1 minute. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Mr. Michael Ajayi. Just give a little brief.
Okay, thank you very much. So, disclaimer, I've just been put on the spot. So, let's put our hands together again for all those winners. We had 353 applications or essays from 10 schools. That's an average of at least 30 applications. Yes, 30, or even 31. Okay, not up to 31, but 30. Yeah. So out of 30 applications or essays, these are the 3 from each school that had the most outstanding essays, and I think that they deserve a round of applause. You know, and we were very critical in the screening. I guarantee you that it is only at the final stage that we were a little bit relaxed, but in the opening stage and the second stage, we were very critical. Like I said earlier on, we got professional scorers, WAEC certified, not just certified, they have done it again and again and again, and they had to prove that they had done that. So this is no mean feat. So for all of you that got awards, please put your hands for yourselves. And this is just the beginning. At this point, we will proceed to now present the award for the overall. And to do the honors, I'd like to invite Dr. Oke. I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much. Please put your hands together.
All right, thank you very much. So please give him a round of applause once again. So, should we call this grand finale of awards now? This is the grand finale in the grand finale. So thank you so much once again, sir. So, in the third place, the overall best. Now we have top 10, right? First position. Now, those 10 were screened, and we have top 3. So to tell you, if you are in top 10, you are fantastic. Now, if you're in top 3, congratulations. So in the third position, going home with a special device. Ladies and gentlemen, drum rolls. Please join me to welcome Ogunlowo Ayomide. Congratulations. So, all right, the third position goes to Ogunlowo Ayomide. Congratulations. Congratulations. That's overall third best essayist in 2024 ethical living. Hey, gently. Yes. All right, stay on stage. The second position. They got it again this time around. Guys, sorry. Oseni Akwiva. Congratulations. Second place, Oseni Akwiva. Congratulations. Congratulations. We're so proud of you. And she goes with a wonderful Lenovo Tab M10 HD. Now, to the grandest of the grandest. Ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome the overall winner of 2024 essay writing competition for Ethical Living Project. I think we should have a commercial break right now.
To my destiny, I have waited patiently. I have
and the winner is Ayanfe Otelaja, Mr. Curiosity.
For the champions, stand up. For the champions, for the champions, stand up. Stand up, stand up. For the champions, for the champions, stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Here we go. It's getting close. Now it's just who wants it most. It's just life, that's how it is. 'Cause we have our strengths and weaknesses. Oh, I have vision, can't you see? I'm on the move, make way for me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up. And when I fall down, I have to pick myself back up. And when I fall down, I have to pick myself back. Weaknesses. Oh, I have vision, can't you see? I'm on the move, make way for me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up. And when I fall down, I have to pick myself back up. And when I fall down, I have to pick myself back up. And when I fall down, I have to pick myself up. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up.
All right, thank you very much. Please give yourselves a round of applause. So we are gradually rounding up. We just want to take a few responses from one principal, a student, and one of our distinguished guests. So, to provide a first response, please join me to welcome Mrs. Majekodumi Lanre from CMS Girls Grammar School, Bariga, Lagos. Okay, representing the schools. Please give her a round of applause, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to say a great thank you to African Capital Alliance in conjunction with Enatus Nigeria. We thank God for the opportunity given to the students. It's a laudable and transformative program. And it's a program that we need at this time. Because if you look at what is going on in the nation, there is a moral decadence. And the value needs to be renewed. We thank God for this opportunity. And I want to encourage our students that you have to be intentional and deliberate in your space, doing the right thing. It doesn't matter where others goes, but in your own space, be a change agent. And I want to encourage us this afternoon that the change starts with you and I. And I believe that Nigeria can be great again. Thank you so much.
Nigeria can be great again. You had better believe it. Because the generation next will ensure that it happens. Thank you very much, ma'am. Get a response from one student. Please join me from Baptist Academy, Adegoke Dolapo. Please come over quickly. Please give him a round of applause.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to give a great thanks to African Capital Alliance Foundation in conjunction with Enactus Nigeria for bringing this program to us teenagers across Nigeria, most especially Lagos. It has been great, impacting us with different knowledges to help us in our daily lives and as we go out into the world to become better individuals, because as they say, change starts with us. And to us teenagers, we should use these values so we can become better and much more better than our present generation for next generation. Thank you.
Fantastic. It's all about Generation Next. And like I said initially, it's an osmosis system. We build it from lower concentration to higher concentration. I still remember biologists now. All right. To give the final response, is an erudite professor, the former vice chancellor of Pan-Atlantic University. Is a member of the steering committee. Ladies and gentlemen, is an erudite professor of ethics. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give him a round of applause as we welcome Professor Joan Elegido. Please, a round of applause, please. A round of applause. Rise up.
Okay. Oh, yes. I see you are excited and trying to give you some time to calm down. First of all, I must say I pity you. You notice I am from Spain. You can notice the strong accent is there. Now, I say I pity you because normally I ask my students, do you have problem with my accent and pronunciation? And they always tell me, no, after a couple of days we are used to it. I'm sorry, you have only 5 minutes. Anyway. First of all, I want to say I really admire the students here. I mean, all the students who have participated in this program I find it incredible, really. After 1 year of hard work, towards the end of the session, I would expect you just to want to rest, to want to play, and then to volunteer for a special course and to come on your own free time to be trained on ethics. I mean, it's very special. It's really very special, and I congratulate you, and I predict a great future for you simply because of that readiness to make that effort. I'm not going to be recognizing anybody, but besides recognizing the students, let me recognize the principals, the teachers, and the facilitators of the program. I think these are the people who need celebrating. Well, there is only two points I want to make, and I go. One of them is a bit negative, but I'm not saying it negatively, but as something positive. I had the opportunity, of course, of reading a number of essays. Now, I have heard the students speaking today. I have heard the students speaking in the video. Honestly, and I have commented that, and other people have agreed with me, you can see a significantly higher standard of verbal expression over written expression, over written English. And truly, I'm talking to the students, the positive thing I want to say is, don't allow lack of excellence in your written English to hold back in your careers afterwards. And that may easily happen. I only have a solution for you, but it has worked for millions of people in the past. I'm sure it can work for you. Please read. Not textbooks, books, novels. Doesn't have to be very complicated novels. I mean, whether it is Tom Clancy or John Grisham or Tolkien, I would give you a challenge. Whatever else happens, at least one book per month. If you can make it better, a book every 2 weeks. If you want to excel, a book every week. It's only by reading frequently you will be able to write properly to a level of excellence. As I said, don't allow your problems in written expression hold you back professionally, and really they will. If you are not, and it's a pity, all the talent that is there can only be expressed through what you are able to write. One final point, there has been a lot of emphasis today on the importance of ethics for your own personal life, and it is very true. Please, do not believe that if you commit to ethics, that will hold you back in your professional future. That is not at all the case. I have been teaching business ethics at the Lagos Business School for over 30 years. I have met many chief executives. I have been in the board of a number of companies. I have been involved in many things. I mean, really, the top professionals I have met, almost without exceptions, are people that you can see are committed, are trustworthy individuals, are people who are committed to serious standards of professional ethics. I can assure you, and again, I have been involved in several cases, when you are now trying to select a new chief executive for a company, or when you are trying to select, let's say, a consultant for a top project, an engineer, as soon as you see the slightest indication of lack of trustworthiness, out. It's out, simply. It is true that in the short term you can cut corners, and you can perhaps progress a little by cutting corners. If you get into the habit of cutting corners, I'm sure far before you have reached the top, that will have held you back. So what I'm saying is, if you want to have a really successful life, reaching accomplishments and also reaching authentic relationships, ethics is the way to go. Anyway, you have already demonstrated that you are interested in that. You have all my admiration and my best wishes for a very good and fruitful life. Congratulations.
Please give him a round of applause one more time. For some of us who were avid readers, when he mentioned John Grisham, my eyes lit up like John Grisham. Was it not yesterday I was just having a conscious conversation with myself, and I was telling myself I think I have to go back to those old habits of reading at least one book in 2 weeks. So thank you for cementing that into my head. I personally will take that as a challenge and continue. Thank you very much, Professor. We appreciate you. And please give him a round of applause once again. Now, to provide the closing remarks, I want to bring on stage very special and important person to this program and to me personally. I worked with her briefly on this project, but recently I realized that she was one of my teachers too in one of the program by AIPM, and we're so blessed by the level of the wealth of knowledge and the impartation that we had back then. So please join me to welcome my teacher and Head Corporate Development, Africa Capital Alliance, Mrs. Hua Osaovo. Please give her a round of applause, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. To all the champions in the house, clap for yourselves. My job here is very easy, but I'd like to reiterate something Prof said about reading. And I'm sure you've heard of this phrase, readers are what? When our winner, our champion was announced, why do you think everybody was so excited? Probably the way he spoke, isn't it? So you kind of felt this was a valid, credible outcome. But it doesn't come readily. Remember, readers are leaders. So, like he said, keep on reading. You know, it will improve the output, the quality of your work, you know, in tremendous ways. I want to start with a few thank yous. I think that's what I'm really here to do. I want to start by thanking the Lagos State Government and their representative here, Madam. Thank you. When we first went to the schools, they looked at us with one eye. They closed the other eye. They said until Oga at the top says that we can do this thing, we can't do it. And so we are grateful to the Commissioner for his go-ahead. Thank you so much. We want to thank the schools for your enthusiastic support. Honestly, the schools were incubators. And I'm sure that you know that we intend to start an ethics club in each of the schools. So for all the administrators of the schools here present, we thank you for your partnership, because this has to be an ongoing discussion. I'd like to thank a group. Without this group, we won't be here today, and that's the Enactus team. Can you put a round of applause? Can you give a round of applause to the Enactus team? They embodied what we wanted to communicate, honestly, in every way, in every ethical way. And we are truly grateful to you, Michael, and your team. We are grateful to the faculty, some of who are here. The passion with which they took on this job and appeared in all the schools every week for 6 weeks in the rain. I think that's when the rain was the worst, right? Yes, when it was raining almost every day. And when I asked for someone to say, they are at the school, I said, you know, this is commitment. So we thank you, dear faculty. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank our team at ACA, the partners. Unfortunately, Oke has left, our chairman. But, you know, we thank all the partners. We thank the ACA Foundation Council. I specifically want to thank Adetoro. Where are you? Is Adetoro in the room? If not, can we just give him a round of applause? He'll hear it. And Esosa, who has supported him, you know, really, really closely all through this. We want to thank some of our corporate partners, UAC and Funman, for some of the goodies, and I think we're leaving even with some, today. Indeed, the future is here because you are our future, and that's the truth. When we see you, we see our future. It's funny that somebody says this is the time for this program because it can't be timely enough. Because guess what's happening out there? The youth are changing the world. Isn't it? Be it one youth. There's one young girl that is less than 20 that if you mention her name now, some corporate CEOs start quaking in their boots. Her name is called Greta Thunberg. Who knows what Greta did? The day she read about climate change and the damage that was being done to our environment, her parents thought she was going to school. What did she do? She took her backpack and went to go and sit in front of the US Embassy. People thought it was a joke. After a few days, CNN came, isn't it? Fox News came, BBC came. Who is this little girl? And she spoke so eloquently about the damage we're doing to the environment. Suddenly, people who hadn't heard before, why did they hear? They heard it because it came from who? A youth. And the passion with which she spoke and the articulation. I think that Greta Thunberg single-handedly took the climate change movement to a different level. Everybody else kind of